Alright, so hello guys and welcome, and today we are going to be playing some Orzhov Enchantments. Now, this deck is not very meta, but I think it could be super fun, and maybe if it gets like one or two more cards, this deck could be even very competitive. But so far, this is what I came up with, and we have basically a pinger deck. It's very similar to something like an Orzhov Blade, although we obviously are not bouncing back the artifacts, we are bouncing back the enchantments. So because we are bouncing the enchantments, we can't play the Glinhawk, sadly, so we have to play the Aviary mechanic, which means we can bounce an enchantment with it, or a creature, or even a land, something like the Bohukabok, if we go against a deck that cares about their graveyard. We have a lot of things to bounce here. We have the Hopeless Nightmare, which is one of the best ones. It can serve like a win condition even in some matchups. We have the Raid, which is great against burn. It does ping and it does drain basically, so we gain the life back. That's awesome against burn, and it does make a creature, which is obviously amazing. We need some board presence to win as well. We have two Omens of the Dead, which is pretty amazing since we can bounce it and we can basically chain it. So, you know, we Omen of the Dead back the Skyfisher, which returns the Omen of the Dead back to our hand. And then when it dies, we can do it again and again, and that's pretty awesome as well. As far as removal goes, we actually have a lot of them. We're playing for Journeys to Nowhere. The enchantment type is very important because of the Leech here. We are also playing the Black Mage's Rod. You could swap the count here, you could play 3 rods and 4 leeches. I think I like it like this a little bit more since we have a lot of non-creatures like Cast Down, and this can be re-equipped, which is great. But the leech is very sick. It works better with cards like the Entryway here, for example, since that will drain for 2. So like I said, we are bouncing back with the mechanic and with the Skyfisher as well, so we have full 8 of the bouncers. And we have the Spirited Companion here, which will draw as a card. It's an enchantment and it's a great target to bounce as well. They're playing the Attic here, which will turn into the Widow's Walk. I think this card is kinda slow, but it's card draw, and that's pretty nice, and the walk can make sure that if there is a board stall, we can attack since it does give that touch. So the goal of the deck is basically to ping down the opponent and to bounce back the enchantments for value. We can even make them lose life with the cards like Hopeless Nightmare, so it stacks very fast. We are even playing the Flats here in the mana base, which deals 1 damage to each opponent for some more pinging effects. We are playing 2 Bogs to bounce them back with the mechanic and the Skyfisher, 1 Campus, some Plains and Swamps, and 2 Basilicas, 1 Landscape. It's pretty standard mana base, right? Now if you take a look at the sideboard, we are playing 1 of each Acolyte, 1 against black, 1 against red, 2 Traben Charms, a very versatile card, 4 Dust to Dusts, very important, especially right now, 3 Pilfers to deal with things like Spy. You know, it's pretty difficult to pinpoint what people are going to play, and I think this card is good against most decks. 2 Arms of Hadar against things like fairies or elves, and 2 Relics of Progenitus. Yes, we do have the Graveyard synergy here with the Omen of the Dead, so you could replace this with Nihilist Spellbomb, but I feel like a Relic is a little bit better than that. So you could do something like you could cut 2 Omens and bring back the 2 Relics in there, and you would be pretty happy about that. So let me know what you think about this version of the Orzhov Enchantment deck, and let's see if it works. Let's jump into the games. Alright, so we go second against Fra Barza. And this end does look quite good, so I think we'll definitely keep this one. They go for a Carrion Feeder. Honestly, looks like a Mono Black Sacrifice deck. I think that's the only thing it could really be. They go for the Infestation Sage. So the plan is to actually kill their important creatures, but we don't have any removal yet. We do play a lot in the deck though, so should find it soon enough. Yep, here is a Journey. That's great. I think we will be a little bit greedy here and just go for the Leech first. Next turn it's probably Journey into Flats. They will attack for 1. They have Supernatural Stamina in hand probably, so I don't want to risk it. Yep, here it is. So they will deal the damage, then sacrifice it. They gain a lot of value from the feeder, right? Oh, they will Village Rites instead. Okay, that's even better for them. Okay, Swamp. That's actually good, but there's no need to don't play the Flats here, so we'll play the Flats. And then let's go for the Journey to Nowhere, targeting the Carrion Feeder. They have no mana to sacrifice it, so we will use this to our advantage. And I think we can attack here pretty well, so we will do that. And we are going to say go here. They go to combat first, attack with both, I think. Yes, looks like Village Rites maybe, or Conviction. It's a Line Breaker. Okay, that's good as well. And another Sage, so the Fisher will be very handy here. Find the Grand Entryway, that's also nice. So I think we will actually go with the 1/1 here maybe. We could also just draw the card there, but I think I want the token on the board. So we will go for the Entryway, and then we will... Do we attack here? I don't think so at all. We will go for the Fisher here. We could also later return the Journey since they have sacrificed the Feeder to actually exile something else that's important, which is sweet since they sacrificed the Feeder to itself. So we will bounce back the entryway. We could bounce back the Journey though, and I would be pretty happy about it, to be honest. Yeah, let's bounce back the Journey. We can use the 3 mana ability fairly soon. They will go for a Mortician Beetle, great target for the Journey there. This looks like supernatural stamina if I'm being honest, so I think we just take 3, right? It's fine. Find the raid, that's awesome. Let's try and play the Journey on the Beetle. Okay, that worked. So they still could have the stamina, which wouldn't be ideal of course. So we will play first the Leech and... sorry, we will first play the raid and then maybe the Companion as well. We could also go for the Fisher instead, which I'm a fan of to be honest. Let's play the Companion actually, so that we get all the value from the Leech while we can. Find a Hopeless Nightmare, that's awesome. And yeah, we will start attacking. We will attack with those 3. May keep the token back, but I think I'm good. I will just attack like that. They go to 4. They go to combat as well and decide to attack with everything. That's interesting. I think we will block this guy right here, the Line Breaker. They go for the Accursed Marauder, that's completely fine. They are dead on board, so we are pretty happy about all of this. Sacrifice the Skyfisher and find the Rod as well. We will drain them for 1. So let's play the Rod for fun and then go for the Nightmare too. And this should be enough to win the first game, right? Awesome. So let's see what we have in the sideboard. They played the version with the back corner. I've seen that. So we could go for a Pilfer. That sounds awesome. I'm not sure how much are they going into the graveyard with cards like Unearth. I like also the Traven Charm. So let's cut to mechanics. Let's go for the Charm. I also don't love the raids in this matchup. So we will bring the Pilfers instead of those. And then the Obsidian Acolyte rather, this could be quite powerful as well against them, right? So let's cut one more mechanic for the Obsidian Acolyte, and then our Arms of Hadar, good against them. And I would say honestly not very much. All of their creatures have some sort of like death rattle, so let's just submit like this. So this end is genuinely so good, but we need to find a second land, and the chances are we are going to find it, so I think I will keep. But if we don't, we might be in trouble. They mulligan to 6 cards, so I'm even more incentivized to keep. Okay, so they stick with 6 cards in their hand. They run the... what is gonna be turn 1? They go for the Beetle. Okay, find a Companion. Okay, we will go for the Flats. They will go for Dark Ritual. This is interesting. And a Feeder. And a Feeder. Okay. And Supernatural Stamina. Really? Okay, so they are going for this insanely fast start. So I think if we actually manage to find a land here, we win. If we don't, we probably lose. We do find a land. That's good. So we can target the Beetle. Obviously, one of those feeders will get bigger, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But we need to use the Journey here, I feel like. They will obviously sacrifice it in response, which means we can bounce the Journey later. It's also great. They don't do it. Okay, so they have learned that we can bounce it back. Although I would say that now it would be fine for them to do it, since they would get a counter on the feeder, right? And since they went so all in, it might have been the right call. We get hit for 3, they say go. We find a Traben Charm, and I will be honest, I think I will take a turn off here and try to find a land with the Spirited Companion. Find a Pilfer instead, that's okay. Guess that's okay. We have the cast down for next turn. This is not the end of the world. They will go for a Village Rites, trying to get back into the game. Very fair. We did miss a land drop, so they have a chance here. They will attack. There are no blocks from our side. End step, sure. Hey, here is a land. We love to see that. So I think we will go for a Pilfer plus a Hopeless Nightmare. I think we want to get rid of most things they have right now. We could also go for a Traben Charm, but let me just Pilfer first. Village Rites, Corrupted Conviction, Accursed Marauder. Sure, let's take the Conviction. And then the only thing we have mana for is the Nightmare, so I guess let's play that. They will discard the Marauder, I believe. Yes. And we will just attack for 1. Chill here. They did draw a Line Breaker. They will use the rights on it instantly. Find a Swamp. So I think we will take the opportunity, yes, and kill the feeder here. Find a Bog, which is actually awesome. Let's use Cast Down on the feeder first and then bog them. Next turn we can go like Leech plus something. They have it really good here though, because they can buff the Shambler, and if they draw something like Village Rites, they are in a pretty good shape. We win the match. Okay, so we were able to play enough removal to destroy their board and the important creatures, so that's 2-0 against Mono Black Sacrifice. So we go first against Serafello. Hand is actually good. Since we go first, it's even better. We will keep. Let's go for the flats. Deal 1 to them. They mulliganed a lot, I think. Yeah, to 5. So we are in a pretty good spot from the beginning here. Oh, it's a Tron deck. Okay. That explains a lot then. We will go for the Baelmerk Leech. Next turn play the Companion probably. We will hope for a land next turn, of course. We do play 21, and I will say the land count has been a little bit troublesome. It's probably because we don't have enough card draw in the deck, like consistent card draw. They go for a Prism. And so the ideal thing is probably just to add some of it, but I'm not sure how in these colors, right? I mean, in this archetype with enchantments, rather. You do find a Swamp, but that's great. So we will go for a Spirited Companion. Find a Journey, that's definitely not bad. And then we will attack for 2 and followed by a Recon Raid. Not bad at all. I think they are a Flickertron, but we will see what they really are. A lot of people are playing Flickertron. They have a Natural Tron, that's insane. Oh, they just play Mystic, okay. And an Expedition map, yeah. They can crack it instantly. We'll just Journey the Mystic, which is kind of bad because we don't necessarily want to do that, right? Land is one of the best draws though. We will go for the Journey though. I think the Raid, I think we will bounce it with the Skyfisher this turn so that we have more combat power for next turn. And then the Raid does drain, which is awesome. Well, so let's Fisher back the Raid. We will use it as a way to drain them even more. They go for Impulse first. Okay, here is the Aviary mechanic as well. Quite good, quite good. They have a lot of mana. I think they will just use something like a Moment's Peace, if I'm being honest. So we will try to attack first. They go to 4. So there is a chance, like genuinely, there is a chance. We will go for a Spirited Companion. Another mechanic, okay. Let's go Reikonner's Raid. They might have also Weather the Storm. They counter that. Unwind, sure. And I think it's their turn. They go Mystical Teachings. For what? A Breath Weapon maybe? Yes, indeed, it's a breath weapon play. So 2 to everything. The Fisher lives, which is important. Go for a map again. Impulse. And use the map. They should be dead here, actually. Okay, Black Mage's Rod as well. We will attack for 2. I think bouncing back the flats and then replaying them should be lethal. I'm not sure what would stop this. I don't know about many cards that would stop this. Let's run the Fisher. Pick up the flats. Play the flats. First game is ours. Awesome. Let's see what can we do in the sideboard though. So I think Pilfer and Relics are crazy important. Don't love the entryways. Let's run the Relics. Also, I would like some Pilfers, so maybe like 2 mechanics, 1 raid, bring out the Pilfers. And Trabant Charms, I mean, could be. 1 journey, 1 more raid, bring 2 charms. Shall be okay here. So I would say hand is quite good. Flat Swamp, we have the Rods, which is good. We have the journey as well. Into the Attic, that's decent. I think we can go with this. Okay, actually we could go for the Nightmare right now, but I would rather play the Rod first, so let's go for the flats. Prism, as expected, that's fine. Okay, journey could be good. We will go for the Rod and we will say go. Next turn it's maybe Rod into Nightmare or something else. Really depends what they do. If they maybe like remove the Rod, right? They go Impulse. Okay, they bug us. Luckily that doesn't matter yet. Okay, mechanic is cool. So we will attack first, then go for Rod number 2 and followed by the Nightmare. Next turn we could do mechanic into Nightmare, or we could journey if they play creature. They will cast down the hero token, okay, and go for an expedition map. That's fair. We go for the Omen. We find it rather. We don't go for it yet though. We could go for the Attic or we could go for mechanic plus Nightmare. I think I'm for mechanic plus Nightmare. We need to milk it, you know, since they don't have the card advantage combos like Relic plus Flicker yet, so we need to use that. Let's run the mechanic. We will bounce back the Nightmare and Nightmare. Next turn it's maybe the Attic already, right? Since I don't want to miss too many land drops, although it's extremely important to go very fast against them, right? That's the truth as well. So they will use the map and bring out the last Tron land, unless they have it in their hand, at which point that's great for them. Okay, they go for the Prism and cycle Lauren. Okay, bring out the island, and I think that's it from them. Find another Attic, that's pretty good. We will attack first. Okay, play the Attic. We are hoping for a land here, at least 1. That's a land. Let's play the landscape and say go. This will be a swamp, I think, very shortly. They impulse. I will take that as a very good sign. They still have the Prism and they have only 1 Tron land though, so that's pretty bad for them. They didn't crack the map. They didn't have really time for that, even though they went first this game. That's better. That's smart. I don't know. Okay, that's 6 life. So they are maybe probably alive. We will crack the landscape, bring a swamp. Cast down is good. Maybe not right now, but it's good anyway. So we will probably just go for the attic yet again. We could also just equip something with the rod effect and then play the omen. How much damage is that? If we equip the rod and play the omen, that is 5 plus 2. That is 7. We put them to 1. So I don't think there's a point in doing that yet. So let's attack for 4. Play the attic number 2. Hopeless Nightmare is a kill, right? Oh, hello. Let's do 0 against Flickertron, but I will say I don't think they drew that well, but it was a pretty great game from us, so GG. Alright guys, so we are back with the conclusion, and deck was fine. I think it has two main struggles. Number one is the mana base, and although we played 21 lands, which might seem like a lot, especially with 2 Basilicas, sometimes it's really not, and that really ties with the second struggle, which is ways to draw cards, right? So the main way to actually draw cards in this deck is not really drawing cards, but bouncing things for value. You know, when we have the card draw like it's supposed to be, we have the Spirited Companion, which straight up draws a card. Then we have the attic here, which does draw 2, but it does cost 3, which is a little bit slow at times, and we lose to life, which is not ideal when we play against decks like Burn. So I would really like to see some more ways to draw cards, which would solve the mana issue as well, I think. And because of that, I think that the black-white deck might not be the best solution. I think a Dimir version actually could be much better with something like Dreamstalker. I think there are many more cards that return some other cards, since you could definitely play something like the Crouch and Relic in there, and it would be much better. It would be the only artifact, and the rest of the deck could be enchantments, because I feel like the Hopeless Nightmare is extremely powerful. The deck definitely did not play badly. If we found just enough lands to play the hand we had, it was completely fine. I did like the mechanic. I did like the removal there. We had 4 journeys, which is sick, and we had 2 cast downs as well, so that's 6 hard removal spells. That was really handy versus decks like Slivers or Mono Black Sacrifice. It's pretty awesome. The raid was just okay. I don't think it's the best thing to be playing. I could see that being replaced. And I did like the rooms a lot. I did love the companion, and the leech is incredibly strong, as well as the Black Mage's Rod there. Regarding the sideboard, I was really happy with it. I think we had answers for most decks in the meta game. I even did like the Relic, and the Pilfer seems like a really good card. So would I recommend this deck? I think not yet. I think we will experiment with some more version, maybe playing Dimir next, and then yeah, that deck might be worth something, but I think this one was a cool experiment, and we did win some games, and those games felt great, so take what you will from that. So regardless, let me know what did you think about it, and what would you change to make it better, and I will see you soon. Have a great day, and bye.